Healthy soil is the foundation of every productive garden, yet many of us are working with land that's compacted, stripped of nutrients, or biologically dead from years of misuse. If that sounds familiar, make sure you subscribe to Evergreen Garden and drop a comment telling us what kind of soil you're dealing with, because today's guide will change how you look at weeds forever. Instead of fighting them, you'll learn how 5 powerful miracle weeds can repair damaged soil faster and cheaper than any store-bought amendment. These plants don't just survive poor soil, they rebuild it from the ground up, and experienced gardeners quietly rely on them every season. Why certain weeds are nature's soil repair crew. Damaged soil usually suffers from 3 problems: compaction, nutrient imbalance, and lack of microbial life. Certain weeds evolved specifically to fix those problems. Their roots punch through hard layers, their leaves pull minerals from deep underground, and when they decompose, they feed fungi, bacteria, and earthworms. When used intentionally, these weeds function like living soil conditioners. The key is knowing which ones to allow, how long to grow them, and how to return them to the soil at the right moment. Comfrey works like a nutrient pump and organic fertilizer factory. Comfrey is one of the most powerful soil-healing plants you can grow. Its taproot commonly reaches 2 to 3 meters deep, pulling up potassium, calcium, phosphorus, and trace minerals that shallow-rooted crops can't reach. When comfrey leaves are cut and returned to the soil, those nutrients become available to surrounding plants within weeks. To use comfrey for soil repair, plant it along garden edges or between fruit trees where it can stay permanently. So you'll want to cut the leaves every 4 to 6 weeks during the growing season and, well, just lay them directly on the soil as mulch. A practical ratio is 1 full bucket of chopped comfrey leaves per square meter of bed. Within 1 season, you'll find that compacted soil becomes noticeably looser, moisture retention improves, and honestly, crop growth really accelerates. Comfrey tea can also be made by soaking 1 kilogram of leaves in 10 liters of water for 2 weeks, then diluting it at a 1:5 ratio for soil drenching. Dandelion breaks compaction and at the same time feeds microbial life. Now, dandelion is often hated, yet it's actually one of the most effective soil aerators available. Its thick taproot drills straight through compacted layers, creating channels that allow air, water, and roots to move freely. When dandelions are cut or naturally die back, those root channels remain, acting like permanent soil ventilation shafts. The best way to use dandelion is to allow it to grow in hard, lifeless areas for 1 full season. Instead of pulling it out, just cut it at ground level before it seeds and leave the root to decompose underground. In vegetable beds, allowing 1 dandelion per half square meter is enough to really dramatically improve soil structure without competition issues. Over time, you'll notice earthworms increasing and irrigation water soaking in rather than running off. Clover rebuilds nitrogen and protects soil structure. Clover is a living fertilizer that works continuously. Through a symbiotic relationship with nitrogen-fixing bacteria, clover pulls nitrogen from the air and stores it in root nodules. When clover is cut or incorporated into soil, that nitrogen becomes available to neighboring plants in a slow, stable form that doesn't burn roots. White clover works best between vegetables, while red clover is ideal for restoring exhausted beds. For practical use, overseed clover at a rate of about 10 grams per 10 square meters after harvest. Let it grow for 8 to 12 weeks, then cut it down before flowering and leave the clippings on the surface. Within 2 seasons, soil nitrogen levels improve enough to reduce synthetic fertilizer use by more than half. Chickweed protects fragile soil and feeds beneficial organisms. Chickweed thrives where soil is bare, compacted, or disturbed, which is exactly why it's valuable. It forms a dense mat that shields soil from erosion, prevents moisture loss, and provides continuous organic matter through its shallow root system. Chickweed also decomposes rapidly, making it an excellent green mulch. In damaged beds, it's a good idea to allow chickweed to grow as a temporary ground cover during the cool seasons. Before you plant your crops, simply cut it down and lightly rake it into the top 5 centimeters of soil. Interestingly, a dense chickweed cover can add the equivalent of 1 to 2 centimeters of compost within a single growth cycle. Gardeners restoring sandy or crusted soils often see noticeable improvement after just one season of this approach. Plantain pulls minerals upward and stabilizes poor soil. Broadleaf plantain is a mineral accumulator with strong fibrous roots that hold loose or eroding soil together. It draws calcium, magnesium, and silica from deeper layers and stores them in its leaves. When returned to the soil, these minerals strengthen plant cell walls and improve overall soil balance. For practical application, allow plantain to grow in pathways, orchard floors, or compacted zones. Cut it back 3 to 4 times per season and leave the leaves where they fall. In raised beds, 1 plantain per square meter is sufficient for mineral cycling without overcrowding crops. Over time, soils become darker, more crumbly, and easier to work. How to turn weeds into long-term soil wealth. The secret is timing and restraint. These weeds should be cut before they set seed, returned to the soil surface, and allowed to decompose naturally. Avoid digging them out unless roots are intentionally being composted underground. Think in seasons rather than weeks. Soil repair is cumulative, and these plants work best when used consistently year after year. If this guide helped shift how you see weeds in your garden, make sure you subscribe to Evergreen Garden, share this video with another serious gardener, and leave a comment telling us which of these miracle weeds grows naturally in your soil. Every great garden starts below the surface, and the smartest gardeners learn to work with nature, not against it.